Hello, it's me again. By the way, the name's below. Okay, let's get started. I received an email from a young lady asking me to please explain the present simple and the present progressive. Now, for others, it's also called the present continuous. Sometimes people ask me, is there a difference? No, you can refer to it as the present continuous or the present progressive. It's the ing form, the verb with the ing form. Now let's take a look over here. It's actually not as difficult as people think. For most of the grammar forms, always remember you can basically explain grammar with 2 or 3 words. It's possible. First of all, what is the present simple or the simple present, as people say? Well, I think we should just take a look at a verb, the verb live. That's a good example. You can see here it's I, you, we, you, they, live. There's no S, but he, she, it lives. Now, in my 27 years of teaching the language, quite often I come across German speakers, of course, who tend to forget the S and say things like he live or she live. And they ask me, well, is that important? Does it sound that bad if I forget the S? Let's take a look for a moment at German. If I were to forget the T in German. Now you're asking yourself, what is he talking about? Well, in German for your sie, es, you use a T. Here are some examples. Er geht, sie läuft, er fährt, es funktioniert. Do you notice? In German there's a T. In English we have an S. He goes, he works, it talks, it functions. There's an S. So if you forget the S, it's like me saying in German, der Mann fahren morgen. No, it's er fährt. Okay? So that's important. Don't forget that S. A lot of talk. What am I trying to say? When do we use the present simple? Well, it's used if you're talking about things which are generally true. Things which are facts. For example, I wear glasses because I have bad eyes. For example, it's a fact. Or I live near Frankfurt. This is a fact. I teach English. It's a fact. But he teaches English. Remember, he, she, it, we do need that S on the verb. In statements, I live in Frankfurt, I wear glasses, but mind you, she lives in Munich and he wears glasses. There's the S. Don't forget the S. In the negatives, again, you see the 2 structures. No S and with an S. Remember, the infinitive is your Grundform. That's what it is. I don't live in California. I don't smoke. But she doesn't live in Madrid. He doesn't smoke. Good for him. Smoking's bad. I quit 3 years ago. You live longer, so they say. Anyway, we also use it in questions. Do and does, of course. Where do you live? No S. Do you smoke? No S. Where does she live? Does he smoke? So there you have the S. When do we use the present simple? We use the present simple or the simple present to talk about things which are facts. Okay? Then, what's the difference to the present continuous? There it is. The present continuous means the action is temporary. Or as the Germans would say, zeitlich begrenzt, vorübergehend. We have the present simple. It's a fact. Knowing I live in Rodgau. Now we have the present continuous. It's a temporary situation. It's perhaps only for today, this morning, this afternoon, this week, but then it's over. Quite often I like to make fun with people when I'm doing placement tests with new people, and I ask them, where do you live? And they say, I'm living in Frankfurt. I usually ask them, so where do you normally live? And they look at me perplexed. But what do you mean? I'm living in Frankfurt. And I say to them, well, I'm living in Frankfurt translates as ich wohne vorübergehend in Frankfurt. Well, if that's the case, then where do you usually live? I live in Frankfurt, but I'm staying with my sister. You are not staying permanently with her, you're just staying with her for a week or two or a month till you have found your own place. That's the difference right there, huh? Don't forget the verb to be. I am, you are, he, she, it is, and the ing form. In statements, I'm staying at the Hilton Hotel this week. Take a look. This week is not a general time. It's not a permanent time. It's only this week. That's why it's temporary, and that's why we have the ing form. Peter's wearing his sunglasses. Well, sunglasses are things that you don't wear all the time. You just wear them when the sun is out. Your regular glasses you wear all the time. So, I wear glasses. Fact, the sun is out. I am wearing my sunglasses. Only now. We're learning English. This is something that we're doing now at the moment of speaking, temporarily. If you said, I learn English, you would mean that you generally learn English all the time. In the negations or negatives, I'm not drinking a cup of coffee or tea. Jack isn't visiting his parents. We're not having lunch. I'm looking into a camera. For example, this is something that I am temporarily doing or only at the moment of speaking. Questions. Are you drinking a cup of coffee? I think what's important here is to notice or to see exactly that we then put the verb to be at the start of the sentence or before the subject. Are you drinking a cup of coffee? No, I'm drinking a cup of tea. So, in a nutshell, we've just learned that there are two forms of the present simple or simple present, and the present continuous or present progressive. The difference is, simply said, is that we use the present simple if you're telling someone that something is a general fact. It's true. It is the way it is. And we use the present progressive or continuous to tell someone it's only happening now, today, this week, this month, for a period of time, but it will end soon. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. If you did, subscribe, tell others, come back again. I'd love to see you again. Or send me a mail at this address, okay? See you then. Bye now.